monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat.
Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Thank you all so much for stopping in, very much appreciated. We are going to have a special guest today, Tomislav. We're going to be interviewing Tomislav. It's going to be freaking epic. Hope we can get a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff. Answers. Questions answered for all of you. On a nice spot. It's going to be fun. So I just wanted to come in and say hello to everybody. I really appreciate you all stopping in. Please don't forget to smash the like and share out the stream. Get as many either in here or in Allie's stream as possible. And then we're gonna get the show on the road. All right, everybody. So I am gonna go back to starting soon. See you all very soon.
PCs to be able to see if you can handle this kind of stuff before it gets out. And I think that mine is one of those two PCs.
I thought that I had my stream started.
that are really
Apologize,
low.
guys.
I personally didn't see, because I run the game on the low settings. For me the game looks like crap all the time, and I really get surprised sometimes when I see screenshots from from the guys which high NPCs, how the game really looking really great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is like it is. Somebody has to sacrifice.
Yeah.
The Prosthetics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, especially if you want, like, if you go into a high pop server, like, and it's really laggy, and most people like turn their settings way down.
The thing is that at least I haven't been in a part of this like testing. I had some other things to do, but from what I heard on weekly meetings is that these graphical settings basically don't mean anything when they're talking about the lag, because there is the lag that was happening is more related on how on some limitations of Unreal Engine and network code of Unreal Engine, or how big packages of information can be transferred over the network and stuff like that. So this kind of thing is cause a certain amount of problems for us, because we switched to Unreal Engine to make this kind of game, to start with, not to do stuff like changing engine code and stuff like that. But well, since Scum is probably one of the biggest game made on Unreal Engine and it really pushes everything, we have to modify it heavily. So what people don't realize is that we're not just working on the game. Actually, most of the time, we, at least in the last 2 months, we're actually modifying Unreal Engine to be able to handle Scum. It's not something that we were supposed to be doing, because if you have like 20 or 30 programmers, you definitely want to use them for creating gameplay and not modifying the tools.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the resources are being taken away from being able to create a game.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
So, could we just for everybody out there, could we just have you just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself, and also what made you and your team come up with Scum? Like, what gave you guys the idea of coming up with the game?
Okay, so my name is Tomislav Pongrac. People usually call me Tommy. Here in the office they call me Grandpa. I'm somewhat 30 years in game development. I started early 90s last century. I was one of the people who started Croatian game industry, which still isn't like big industry. There are like just a couple of companies here working on. Well, we have a lot of indies, but indies come and go. It's not hard. It's not easy to to have a studio and make the game and sell the game and everything. Anyway, some, let's say 10 years ago, I decided to open my second company. I met with Andrej. You probably know him as Leva Opaki. That's his like warrior name on Battlefield servers or something like that. I don't know. He's supposedly to be really good, but I don't know. Anyway, so we met together. We gathered some other guys. We managed to find investors, and we decided to open a company and, let's say, make some good games. After our first game, which was completely different than Scum, it was a combat racing game called Gas Guzzlers. Yes.
Yep, I own it.
Still one of it's still one of the best combat racing games on PCs. The thing with us as game developers, we have really, past and we're really experienced developers. Most of our programmers started with assembler, not C++, not C sharp. Nobody does C sharp in serious game development, but with assembler and stuff like that. So they're really low level programming, really hard to and difficult. But for these kind of games that we are working on, you simply have to do this kind of thing and or the game, you will not be able to make a game that has so huge map and so many players and everything, so etc. So the thing is that we were really experienced guys, but we were in Croatia. Croatia is a country that does not recognize game development as a job. Usually, people tell you that you basically are playing games or think that you're playing games, all day long. But basically, we are not. Unfortunately, we don't have even time to play Scum in most occasions. Majority of team, except for a testing team, of course.
Oh man.
So basically,
Plays a lot less than we do.
Yeah.
Basically, that's why it's good to have a big community and community that provides you with feedback. And I think that we're doing a really good job regarding game development and relationship with community and cooperation, collaboration with the community almost from the beginning of early access game release. So. This Gas Gases basically was a good game, but it didn't sell well. Then at that point, we realized that even if you make a good game, it's not a guarantee that it will sell. And we still we were able to live from sales and everything, but we didn't have a chance to plan for more than 3 months in head because we didn't have money. So. Eventually, we decided that we have to switch to another project. And because we are the game developers, we make games. We don't make just certain type of game, like racing game or space games. We can do any kind of game, which is great because we are game developers. Like we are carpenters, so we can do, a bench or a stool or wardrobe. It doesn't matter for us. Right. So eventually, we found out that. Back then, survival games were quite popular on Steam, and the things that what we saw back then, and there was like H1Z1, I think, and it was before PUBG appeared. And there was DayZ, of course, and there was 7 Days to Die, which is also strong today. As a game, and some other games. And from what we saw, all these games were really simple, except for DayZ, which was built on Arma and had huge amount of content. And we thought that basically because most of these games were done by modders and not by professionals, we can do much better. Although there was like 6-7 of us back then at that time. Simply because we wanted to give us better chance of survival. Right. To have a better chance on the market, to reach huge audience and everything. And this is how everything started. It was pretty much crazy idea at the time because Scum as it is huge project. It's the biggest game I've been working my whole career, and it's probably one of the biggest games on Unreal Engine. Today, and it still grows. We started with something at the release. It was like below 20 gigabytes of hard disks usage, and now it's 65 gigabytes. So you can imagine the growth through these like 3 years.
Oh, for sure.
As it is in early access.
For sure, and the challenges that you guys went through to even make the game, where it is now is, amazing. And, you're accomplishing so much.
So the thing was that there was a lot of overtime, and we were pretty much desperate at that point. That's why we managed to succeed, because it was either we will do something or close the company, but one of the things that we actually did really well before release was marketing, which was done completely from in-house with us providing materials. But back then we were talking more about stuff, how the game will be at 1.0,
Hey,
not
Shizmatic.
how
Hi,
the game
everybody.
will be
Welcome.
at
I really
early access,
appreciate you all stopping in.
which is of course the whole point of everything. If you want to involve the community to be part of this game development, and early access back then was, well, it wasn't like in its peaks. It was already started to be hated by community because there were like a lot of early access games that didn't deliver. So people sort of got angry, and we sort of got into all this mess. Trying to push the new survival game to the community that was disappointed with, both DayZ and other games that didn't deliver. So we had to just find a way how to persuade people that we are different, that we will, we will care about the game, that will push the game and everything, which sort of led us to really successful early access release. And then I'm not sure if you know how was the state of the game on early access, but it was not a good state, in a good state, and there were like huge issues and everything. So we knew at that point that the game is not good enough to be, that it will manage to hold the audience for a long time, and we expected that will sooner or later, drop in players will occur. The thing is that we didn't have any option other than release the game back then. We were, not pushed by publishers, but mostly by our investors that literally said, you don't have any choice. You have to wrap it up and put it out, and we will see what will happen. Which sucks,
Right.
It sucks a lot because we as game developers, we want to push polished games out. We don't want to put garbage. I believe most of the game developers like that. And Scum wasn't not nearly polished. Didn't have literally any special feature except for this early version of Metabolism and ballistics and everything. So it did have something, but it didn't have content. Quality content that will keep players playing it for a long time. So for us back then, there was only one option to follow, and that's to put a lot of overtime work and everything to push as many updates as possible to persuade people that we will not give up and that we actually care about the game. And this is something that we're completely special, and I don't know any other game developer that actually managed to put almost 200 updates for the game in 3 years.
Well, not only do you guys, not only do you guys care about the game, do you guys care about your community too? You guys care about what the community think, and you guys try to put things in for the community. Like I remember back then, base building wasn't even supposed to be part of the game, and then
no, it wasn't.
Yeah, you guys put it in for the community, and you guys work well with the community. And this is the only game that I know that has such a strong, solid community.
Yeah,
like I've never.
And the thing is that we would never been able to get this far without community. Really, we would never be able. We currently we cannot test the game properly, which you're probably aware of because of the last couple of hot fixes on hot fixes on hot fixes. So we have testing team, and they're like really going through the game 24 hours if necessary. So, but the game is so huge that to test all the things, properly, it takes not just like a week of testing, but much more, maybe a couple of weeks. And this is something that we cannot. We don't have we don't have a dedicated team who would be able to do that. So we sort of come to the point that we feel that the game is, let's say, in a decent state, and then we release it out and let the community handle the rest of it, which is great because then you get in the first, then we get a lot of well, basically we don't have that much bugs reports, but we have like we got them in just couple of days. So this helps us to fix them much faster, than if we would be testing it by ourselves. It would probably take us months, which is great stuff, because we have like 500,000 people going through the game in 2 days, and they report many things. Many of these things are duplicates, so which is fine. But we in just like over the weekend, we already have like really good database of bugs, which are from critical to less criticals, and then we can start fixing the game next week. I'm not sure if that people who sort of argue that we are not doing enough of testing actually realize that without this kind of work from the community, it will take much longer for us to develop stuff and fix stuff. Yeah, and fine-tune everything.
Everyone plays different ways and find bugs their own ways anyway, so that would be near impossible, really, in time.
Yeah.
Time spent, an hour spent.
Yeah, of course, and we have like at any given time we have 20 people doing different kind of things, different kind of branches of the game. So we have like one, let's say, iteration of the game, which is currently 0.7, going on for, let's say, 5 months in development, or 4 months in development, something like that. And during this time, you have like a certain amount of team building features for the game that has to be put in the game, but not put publicly, so it is included in the game, because testers wouldn't be able to test these features. But at the same time, because we have like these 2 weekly updates or 3 weekly updates, we have other guys who are putting stuff that will be published to the game. And this is kind of development that is pretty much unique to us alone. I'm not sure if any other developer in the world does something like that. But the thing is that when you collide this stuff that are not like finished, but they are in the game, and you're just not aware that they're basically in the build that you're playing, and the stuff that is going out, many things can happen. It's really complicated.
Yeah, definitely. And like with stuff like that that's like kind of in the game but not in the game, doesn't that affect like some of the code?
Yes.
It does create like,
Yes,
that's
it
what I
does.
thought.
It
Yeah.
does. Yes, but because we work as we work, and we are still like too small team for this kind of game and everything. We don't have any other options.
Right.
There is slight risk of doing this kind of thing, which obviously led us to this lag that we have last 2 months. But otherwise, for us, when we sort of grew on how development goes for us, it seems that we are pretty much agile, and we constantly giving you stuff which you will be probably waiting for months with many other games.
Oh yeah.
So for us, it started to, after let's say 1 year of development cycles, it started to work like a normal thing.
Right.
Okay.
Which makes sense.
So it's good to see you guys that you have gone from, you started at 4 and you're over 50, I think 53 last count, or was it?
Yeah, something below 60 currently. We have people come and go. We're currently in the state as a company where it's really hard to maintain a steady number. You have to always try to expand. Then you have to pick the people from the surrounding area that are capable to do games, and sometimes you take juniors which turn out to be great. Sometimes you take, let's say, seniors from other spheres of, for example, IT, and they turn out not to be that great. So we are a living organism, and we are always trying to expand. and trying to keep good people working at the company.
Mhm.
You've definitely got good people there. I was just gonna say, sometimes I hassle your employees for information for the Scum website, and they're always so lovely. Or everyone that I talk to, yeah, it's a lovely company. Yeah.
Yeah, you usually talk with Q&A. I love them the most. I love them the most because they know the game the best of all other employees. So I play the game in my free time, which is a couple of days over the week. I have my gang on one official server. I will not say which that server is because there'll be probably a lot of people coming there to molest me, and I'm also testing the game while I play, and it's a quite different thing to to make features separately and then actually try them on the multiplayer server in live live server and see if they work in correlation with all other players. And that's why I have like really good Q&A guys who basically they play the game at work, but they also play the game. Some of them stream the game after the work, and they're really proficient with stuff. And each time I need some kind of information about how things work or how they should work, and what happens if they don't work, then I get pretty good answer from them. And what I've learned is that from testing crew, from Q&A guys, there is always a couple of good people that can become game designers because they learn about not only how the game should be played, but they also learn a lot how the game is made from working with other teams here. So they already have pretty good picture about how to put or some sort of layout vertical slice of some feature, which might be interesting for Scum, but also maybe some layout for the new game or something like that. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right. Could we ask you some question from the community now?
Oh,
A few. I'm
Of
sure
course,
there's
yes.
a ton.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah. So many.
We've had like Ricky just was talking about that. His question was, I had it marked there. With the implementation of 0.6, what seems to be the root issue of lag and audio issues? Are they separate? When will we see more core feature implemented and less mod lag features? I'm not sure what he means by this.
I'm not sure either. If he's asking is if the game will be open for modding, I'm not sure if I understood it right. Or
Um,
okay, I got a question here. So yeah, I understand that. Regarding these audio issues that we have, I think that they have already been solved. I'm not sure. I've been talking with our audio guy, sound guy, Rale, and he told me that yeah, that he's aware of them. I think that he said that he sold many of them, but this kind of thing is sometimes related with not like our work, but it's also related with updates of Unreal Engine. That sometimes, when we switch from the one version of the engine to the newer version of the engine, they change something in the code, and we are not aware of it, and then basically break certain parts of the game. Then we have to fix that also. It's a normal stuff. you know, as the game gets closer to 1.0 version, these kind of things will be fixed more or less. So I'm sure. At least I hope that I have answered the question.
Okay. So that's okay. All right. Okay. So
I've got to ask
If anyone
a
has
quick
any
question
questions
for
in
our
chat,
mate ET.
um, definitely
one
put them in
of our
chat, and I
squad
can
mates, he keeps
try to ask
asking a
them.
graphic related question. He wants to know if the character's pants will ever be pulled down when they're going to the toilet.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
been wanting to know that.
Yes. Actually, I think that I just a couple of days ago I saw the picture. Just let me try to find it. Just let me try to find it with the pants down. So I think that some content guys are working on it. I'm still not sure when it will be in the game, because this kind of thing will need programmers support, and most of our programmers are currently busy with a lag. But let me just try to find the picture. Its picture is quite interesting to see. It's a pants down picture, so. But we had like a lot of wall of text in this like job chat, so it's not easy to find it. Just a second. Okay, it was somewhere here. I cannot find it. I will try to find it maybe later to send you, but fortunately it's not here. We have a lot of
That's
stuff.
okay. Our mate ET will be happy to know that.
I'm sure you will end up posting it on your Twitter eventually.
Well, I didn't posted it. I usually do post stuff like that, but I sort of missed that. I'm not sure what's the reason, but you just reminded me with the question actually.
Yeah, I remember you guys
It was
talking about it a while back that you were gonna implement it.
Yeah, the idea is that you will be able to currently when you go to urinate, you basically cannot stop the whole thing, and if somebody is attacking you, then it's not like a good thing. But now you will have to be able, you will be able to stop the thing and try to run away with your pants down, which will look funny at least.
That'd be
So,
hilarious.
yeah, the thing is that this isn't kind of like big priority stuff, so we didn't deal with that well up until now. But I saw the actual thing. I think that it will be included in the game sometimes next year. I really cannot say when.
That'd be awesome.
Really hard to say, right?
I got a question here for you. Someone wants to know if new female characters are coming in 0.7.
Yeah.
No,
No?
no. It's still a lot of work on them.
Okay.
It's not just like female characters. It's clothes which are the most problematic because we have to rework everything that is in the game, and we have like just 3 people on that job, only from the content side. This is not something that is actually needing a lot of programming support. It just had to be worked, from scratch. But when it's done, then you will be able to, well, at least I hope so. We were talking about that. Then we will be able to have options to, to roll up your sleeves, so
Oh,
you will be
nice.
able to see your watch and stuff like that. And this is something that is planned first for female characters, and then we will transfer it to male characters later.
Nice.
We did success to connect meta-humans with our skeleton, which was really pain in the ass. Huge problem for our animators. Our initial skeleton is basically what sort of animate the character and everything. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm talking about, but your character basically have these like bones. You know, they're not looking like bones; they're looking like, I don't know, triangles or something. Yeah, like polygons that basically move inside your character, and the points this kind of polygons are linked to specific bones, so basically they move character's body. And if this skeleton is not done well, then you might have like weird things happening. If you, for example, pick up your arm, then you know, parts of the, I don't know, abdomen you pull with the arm up and stuff like that. Metahumans have really good skeleton, but eventually we decided not to use it. Simply because we will have to go through 6,000 animations that are currently with the main characters again, and that's a huge job. I'm not sure if it's like worth of effort. We would probably switch to the better skeleton with maybe Scum 2 or you know some other project. So currently it's huge amount of work that will slow us down a lot if we decide to go in that direction.
Do you plan to keep Scum on 0.4 or eventually 0.5, or do you want to do that when you get to 0. Well, from 0.5 and make Scum 2 then?
You're asking if we will switch to Unreal Engine 5?
Yes.
The thing with I see that some of the games like Stalker 2 is already
Yeah, I'm
being
gonna
done
get
on
to
Unreal Engine
that
5.
original. Yeah.
I'm not sure when Unreal Engine will be available for the, you know, for us to try it. We will definitely try it, but I wouldn't hold my breath because, you know, simply because the code of the game and everything would probably work on Unreal Engine, but the content and how the content was built, and I'm not sure if it will be worth of switching to Unreal Engine 5. It will take a lot of it will probably take a lot of time. We will definitely have to look first, you know, and see if we can use some features. We already have like our own Unreal Engine version, you know, because we modified it heavily. So I would say that most likely no, because it will be too difficult. But
Break it in the house. How you
maybe
doing, my
if we
friend?
go with DLC,
Welcome.
you know, then maybe we can make DLC on Unreal 5. So we will definitely keep track on Unreal 5
Hey,
and
Mia.
you know, use all these features, because up until now we are running on the latest version of Unreal Engine. But to just switch from, you know, from 4 to 5 it might be a little bit too much for the project.
Understand.
There's been some questions going around about like character creation. Is there gonna be any more like customizations in character creations, like maybe change your hair color, maybe voices character will make that like different, like to make it more
Yeah.
personal to the player?
Yes, we will definitely allow much more these kind of things. This will probably come later, closer to 1.0 or maybe after 1.0, because these are all cosmetics.
Right.
You know, we are still like adding crucial features in the game. With 0.7, we will for the first time, introduce airplanes. You know, so this kind of new vehicle needs to be done properly, and we will have to go at least one more pass through all the vehicles to make them work a little bit better. So customization will be definitely changed to better, to provide players with more options, with more heads, with more haircuts and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but it will probably come at the end because it's still like cosmetic stuff. I would definitely love to have the game fully optimized, working perfectly, streaming, everything with all the content and all the main features, so that we don't have to add, I don't know, modular base building later, because I feel rather I would have like modular base building properly tested, working properly, and be able and the game being able to hold enough items that people will generate with this modular base building for 6 months without wipes. These are like really important stuff,
Right.
having different kind of haircuts is something that can be easily made, but it can wait for now.
Right. Yeah, that's what a lot of
That's a good
people.
point.
Because there's so many PvE type players out there, like they're kind of looking for more PvE stuff, like more personalized stuff that they can kind of do in the
Yeah,
game.
well, the after or a little bit before 1.0, it will be really pleasure to do this kind of things because they're not complicated.
Mhm.
Uh, we might release some DLCs with characters, specific characters. We were thinking about it. You will see about that maybe soon. We have some options, but for now with 0.7, well, you will see. I'm not sure. We're still like in some negotiations about the person that would like to be part of Scum, and he's a really famous guy. So the idea is that we release the DLC with his character. I'm not sure if our audience will accept this kind of thing or not. It's just basically idea.
Mm-hmm.
So we will see how that will go. But let's talk about 0.7. With 0.7 PVE, basically we'll get traders, we'll get first NPCs. There will be like most likely
No Jedi, they're not.
huge changes on and basically optimizations on how inventory works, which will allow us a lot of cool stuff like multiple selections, dragging, stuff like that people have wanted for 2 years or more. So gradually we will introduce monsters. Also, as puppets will not be the only enemies that you will
God.
meet. Yeah, so we are going in
Can't
that
wait.
direction
That's what I
of
want.
of PvE slash PvP game because obviously players will go against players. But when we introduce armed NPCs, I think that the game will already have like majority of stuff that we sort of planned regarding the main features, because after that the next or the last big feature would be implementing proper quests and missions and let's say single player campaign, maybe co-op campaign, and obviously campaign that will work in this multiplayer environment, which is I'm still not sure how we will do this kind of thing. We have some ideas, but until we start working on that, it simply doesn't make any sense to lose any mind because of potential problems in the multiplayer. But we'll see about it.
Will trader be able to be deactivated? I've got a question from Santana, like so that the traders can be role
Hey, man's
played,
back.
for
How you
example,
doing?
by
Welcome,
actual
welcome.
players.
Yeah, we have received already requests for that. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. We'll have to see about it. It's in the first version. No, in the first version of traders, no. and we will first have to see how the traders will work. We will introduce the economy. We will introduce the in-game some sort of scum bucks, you know, like money. This kind of money would be part of the TV show. It's not microtransactions or anything like that. You will be able to earn this kind of stuff. Basically, your character will earn this kind of money in the game and be able to, you know, buy stuff or maybe earn money by killing other players or robbing other players or eventually robbing NPCs or just gathering, looting stuff and then selling it to traders.
Nice.
So, you know, this kind of economy will first will have to be tested because it will
Yes,
probably
BP, I will.
slightly change how people play the game currently. After that, if it works well as planned, you know, but obviously most likely it will take couple of changes to tweak it out. Then we can talk about maybe making some sort of, I don't know, DLC or something like that, where players would be able to take roles of specific NPC. We already have discussed this internally about players making a DLC that will provide players to play as puppets or monsters. But yeah, and although it sounds really interesting, it's not like our main focus right now because uh, we would definitely have to think of stuff that would be interesting, you know, from the gameplay perspective for players to play as a puppet or some kind of monster of maybe some kind of NPC, let's say company personnel living on the island and stuff like that. So for me, it's still too early for these kind of things. I would definitely love to have more NPCs, AI running on the island
I agree.
properly, you know, properly made animals, hunting and everything, and then go exploring options about giving players, you know, some power over NPCs so they can role play, let's say, literally any NPC on the island. Because for this kind of thing, I think it's better to wait for other things to work properly,
I agree.
or it will get too complicated, you
Yeah, I
know, to
agree.
handle both things.
So the first AI we're gonna get are gonna be traders, and are gonna be like stationed probably inside the buildings at the start. Keep it sort of simple.
Makes sense.
So for start, the traders will be pretty much simple. We will not have all of them. Well, the thing is that with traders, any kind of NPC that basically will provide you with service or some sort of interaction or maybe item that you will be able to buy is basically what we call a trader. So maybe sheriff will be also we call sheriff also a trader, but right now the sheriffs, you know, and the bosses will not be available. We will start with a mechanic, we will start with general store trader, we will start with, you know, like weapon guy trader. So there will be like, I think 5 or 6 different kind of traders available at the beginning. And the next step would be most likely after 0.7 to add these like casual NPCs that will fill out the area in let's say outposts so that it doesn't feel deserted, but also adding arm NPCs and company personnel on the island so that basically you get a feeling that this is like a world, that this is
I turned
there
them
is
up for
something
you.
happening there except for other players. So uh, that's sort of direction that we are planning to take.
So there's some.
This will
I'm
be
sorry.
mostly as. You go, you go. I just wanted to ask if those areas with the traders are gonna be
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
PvP still or PvE.
You're asking if traders will
Asking,
be.
can you get shot in those
No,
areas?
no. For the first iteration of the outpost will be, you will not be able to get any kind of damage in the outpost. Then we will see how that will go. I would definitely love to see eventually. I'm not sure if it will work or not, because these kind of things, they're really hard to you know to see, uh, because of a lot of stuff that players actually do, that do not come to our minds when we are designing stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end, I would definitely love to see like fully open stuff where you can shoot NPC in the outpost or shoot other
Mhm.
players and then get punished by a sheriff
Mm.
or like law enforcement, or maybe the gang that is controlling the outpost. But for now, we will go simple, just with traders and sort of fire free zone, not fire free zone. You know,
Yeah.
no fire zone inside the outposts.
Kind of like the safe zone.
Good.
Yeah, there's been some questions like someone wants to know if you're gonna ever be able to loot the mechs if kill them for like high grade type material or gear.
Yeah, I would love to see that happening. It's still, like not currently in plans. Let's go step by step. I would definitely love to see to be able to go in the outpost and rob the bank or stuff like that. So uh, I'd like to go in that direction. It's really hard to see how this will work, because we don't want it to be like really simple.
Mm.
And when you always have like this collision between players and AI,
Mm.
it has to be balanced properly, because players are smart, so
Right.
they will find a way, to get
Yeah.
anything. Yeah. So what you can expect, that at the beginning we will have a lot of limitations because of these smart players, but eventually we will try to make things in that way. In short, I would love to see or be able to get in the outpost and basically kill somebody, rob somebody, and take some stuff out, and then face whatever
Getting
whatever I
mounted.
Right.
get in return from this outpost. So something
Mhm.
like that.
Right. So, are you ever gonna be able to like hack the mechs or maybe get in or drive the mechs? I know that a robot. Have you ever?
Uh, yeah, the thing is regarding hacking, we're still not we still didn't implement programming skill, which was planned from the start, and the programming skill is planned to be a really powerful one. It will allow you to do stuff like that. It will allow you to hack into other players' BCUs and take
Ooh.
control over their bodies for a certain amount of time. Yeah, so yeah, I still have this on paper planned, but since shooting is far more fun, we are sort of leaving that for later
Mhm.
in development. I'm not sure when, but it will probably come much closer to 1.0. We'll definitely push more, like I wouldn't say like interesting stuff, but more like farming and stuff like that earlier, because people, have can have much more benefits from farming or animal husbandry than from hacking other players and mechs and stuff like that.
I got a question of my own. I'm sorry. This is a kind of a big one that I've been kind of talking about. Will we ever get because it actually work for PvE players as well. Will we ever get like a companion? I know that there was plans about being able to, you know, have animals,
Tame.
tame animals and stuff. But
Mhm.
will we ever be able to have like, say, a dog companion that will kind of have like the same skill sets that you have to build up like us, that maybe will carry items for us or help us track animals? or like if they
Yeah,
die, they have to, you know, use fame to get them
yeah,
back. And
I think that on one interview I already said that we had a companion thing done even before early access release, and you would back then I remember that we had like option for give out orders to animals to
Mhm.
do exactly what you said. So yeah, I would definitely love to have this kind of thing. If we sort of introduce animal husbandry, grooming, and everything, then I don't see any reasons why we shouldn't add this kind of stuff. But this is like again PvE thing,
Mm.
and it's not like big
Not that.
priority right now.
Yeah.
So it's it's like these little things that makes game really like immersive. So yeah, I would definitely love to have this kind of stuff, and we already had it. We didn't include it in the game. I'm still not sure exactly why. It was a long time ago. But yeah, I can confirm that we will try to do this kind of thing.
Awesome.
We will definitely also go with NPCs that you can hire them, so you will be able to hire, guards to guard your base,
Oh no.
or maybe hire NPCs that will help you to, like, for example, lock pickers that will help you
Yep.
to get through some locks and stuff like that. So all these kind of things will have to be balanced, because if you pay a lock picker and which can, let's say, go through a couple of golden locks, uh, you have to pay a lot, because the balance of how many hours have people placed
And to
in
get it.
put,
Mhm.
yeah, in getting the base protected and everything. So but these kind of things will allow other players which are not that skillful to do stuff that other players can do, which obviously are skillful in lock picking, and let's say in maybe hire a cook that will prepare you a proper a meal,
Mm.
or hire some sort of guard that will uh, just defend certain area for you. So these things will come eventually when we develop AI that will be able to handle this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, could you just mention cooking, and I've had quite a few questions about that. So, how is it going with this? I know you guys have been reworking the cooking for a while now.
Sorry, can you just repeat it? I didn't understand you.
This must be the French accent. Sorry.
Yeah, a little bit of your French.
Cooking. You
Oh,
just
cooking.
mentioned cooking, and
Yeah.
a lot of
Uh,
people must know where it's at.
yeah. So the cooking is actually we had like
Welcome
one
everybody. Thank you all for
small
stopping in. Really appreciate it.
iteration of cooking done. Just basically baking meat or stuff like nothing complicated, but we wanted to try out uh, how to make cooking. Well, it's something that we do with all the skills and everything. How to make something like cooking that is not just placing a piece of meat on fire and then waiting for it to be cooked.
Just like the
Instead,
very first one
yeah,
back in the day.
like really basic stuff. Then instead of that, to make cooking more like skill-based stuff. And
Mhm.
uh, um, we had one prototype working with just basic cooking of basic steak, and it sort of stopped there because unfortunately programmers had to switch to fix lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion is that it has potential. Uh, However, if it turns out to be like um, I don't know, boring or a little bit too much, then we will just switch to a basic cooking with just placing a steak and then watching it until it's done. Uh,
Yeah.
we, we we will not spend any more time, because it's there is no like sorry, there is no like any kind of cooking game, at least that I'm aware of, that has like really cool cooking mechanics which are fun. Most of them have like this most of them have like this like maybe more like organizing stuff, managing kitchens and stuff like that than actually making some sort of cooking action that is fun to do. So it's really hard to to make fun of cooking. I don't know how to say that. We have one prototype. We will see how that will go. Maybe we will release it. It has to be a little bit polished with better animations and stuff, and then we will see how the people will react, and then we'll most likely add it, broaden the recipes for cooking, so that you can actually do much more stuff.
I got some PvP questions. People want to know if you're ever going to be able to track players, like if they're injured. Kind of not like the animals where where it highlights so bright. Maybe you have to look for blood that stays there that doesn't like kind of despawn, or tips that there might be injured players.
This kind of thing was planned early on. The problem with tracking is basically optimization stuff. If you have like these footprints or blood, whatever, has to be on the server, so has to be there for a certain amount of time. And if it happens a lot for a lot of players, then obviously servers will have to send all these packages to all clients in the area. It's not a problem of making this thing from the content side. It's more like a problem of making this thing properly from programming side to not cause issues with the performance. I don't see that it should be huge problem. But again, with this lag that
Still
we had,
so early.
yeah, it's still like this lag was unfortunately done by many small problems. So yeah, the tracking of players is on the list, along as tracking of animals and changing the hunting and everything in a different way. We just have to find the most optimized way to do it, so that it doesn't have any influence on the performance.
And the second question.
Yeah, about that, there was well, I don't know if it was about the technical issues. From Jacob was asking you. Let me just get it again. Are there plans to improve this? Are there plans to improve the scalability of the server netcode? I'm not sure how everything works myself, but it says it currently runs on basically one thread on one CPU core.
Yeah, it's like that. So this is more like technical question. I'm not handling this kind of stuff. I'm obviously aware of this thing. In this case, what I can say is that this is something that is limited with Unreal Engine. This is how Unreal Engine works. It will be simply too complicated for us to change core network architecture and everything relating, Unreal Engine network code. Unfortunately, I don't think that. Of course, unless Epic themselves decide to change this kind of thing, but we will definitely not go in that direction. We're too small, to even start messing with these kind of things.
Yeah, that would be something to do with Epic, like the Unreal Engine.
Yeah. Epic does a lot of stuff because of Fortnite, which is great. Before Fortnite becomes successful, Unreal Engine able to handle more than like 14, 15 players at the same time in really small arenas, maybe a couple of 100 meters. wide.
Yeah.
So they did a lot of changes. I'm not sure if they will change more regarding architecture, server architecture.
Mhm.
The best chance is that they will probably do something. But what is really hard to say because they don't tell us anything, regarding how they develop stuff. We are literally nobody for them. So maybe
Yeah.
maybe they share information with bigger developers, but I pretty much doubt about that also.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you.
Can I ask just a simple question? When you're playing in your spare time, what's your favorite thing to do in the game?
Uh, well, I like to loot because uh, uh, because of it gives me that feeling as when you sort of, I'm not sure if you have this similar experience, but when you get home or you're tired or you want your brain to relax and not think about anything. So some people go to casinos and play, these like slot machines. And for me, it's the same as looting. You just press the button, you get something, and sometimes you get something good. And basically, we're not doing anything special, just playing these like small slot machines on the island. So basically, I enjoy that the most because it sort of relaxes me up to the point until I meet somebody, and then I switch to totally panic mode, and usually run away to my base. I had like this one time that one guy killed me, and for me it was terrible experience because uh, first of all I'm developer and I don't want to kill other players, and I was being friendly. Although I did have like shotgun in my hand, but I knew that with the bird shot that I cannot do anything past 5 meters. So I put it down, and I did notice him first, and I was just like thinking, well, maybe he will not kill me because I'm not aiming at him and just standing there. But he was like running and then stopped, then observed me, then and basically this lasted for 5 seconds. I didn't
Yeah.
make shot or anything. I didn't have opportunity to say I'm friendly, and basically he shot me. And for me that was like the the maybe the refund moment. You just want to refund the game and and get. I was really pretty much angry at that point. I know that I even started talking to him that in my passive aggressive mode, being very sarcastic. Uh, but eventually, yeah, the game is like that. So
Yeah.
but but in most cases, I'm really trying to be friendly, trying to. I'm not saying that I'm developer. I'm just trying to have some sort of relationship with people. But in the last couple of months, I always end up dead. So I sort of avoid other players completely because of that.
I can understand the looting though, because Ali calls me the hoarder of the group because whenever I loot, I keep everything I find. Yeah.
And I like sorting stuff, properly. I have this disorder in my mind, so everything has to be in the properly sorted in the box, and
Yes.
when I usually put some. I dig some stuff into ground just to preserve it. Then even if I'm not like playing regularly, I have to go there to dig them out and put them down again. And yeah, sometimes it's a little bit too much for me. But uh, mm, well, I pretty much enjoying being in my base, not moving much around it. So unless going to loot something or trying something to eat and stuff like that. But I don't know. For me, after it's kind of personal opinion, but I tried in the last couple of months. I tried playing different kind of games, which were open world, massive multiplayer games. Well, let's say like Red Dead Redemption 2 online and some others. And I didn't like the movement. I didn't like how shallow they are. They were really beautiful games. They have like a lot of stuff, but
It's missing.
there's some, yeah, there's something missing that just keeps me going back to Scum. And although I'm playing on low and the low settings and the game really looks really bad and I have issues with performance, it's still like this whole thing of being on a certain place, living there, and this uncertainty. It's still like that happens from time to time. It's still like give me certain amount of excitement and sort of enjoyment of the game. I'm not sure how much that will last, but for example, just a week ago, for the first time, I found a bicycle, which was a great surprise because I couldn't find any vehicles, which sort of reminds me that we have to fix vehicle hoarding. Yeah, it's but this is how things work. You have to try it in the real server, especially at the beginning. Everything is fine because you have a lot of opportunities. But if you play it for at least a couple of weeks, 1 month, then you see things that don't work properly in the game. And this is something I'm trying to do when playing. And basically, we found a bicycle, but it was a mountain bike, and we couldn't get, me and my pal that I'm playing with, we couldn't get together on the bicycle. And eventually, I also found that the bicycle is too slow, which is something that I already reported to guys. It will be fixed. But I'm not, in most cases, I'm not playing the game to enjoy. I'm playing the game to see how things work, or if they cause certain amount of frustration, and try to detect stuff, many things from the metabolism. If the digestion is too fast, too slow, if if we need to let maybe slow down the whole process, which we did with the last some of the last updates. So these kind of things I'm doing most of the time when I'm playing.
Speaking of
It's,
that,
sometimes it's sort of hard when you're sort of testing something and somebody kills you, and you cannot be angry at that person because they're not aware that I'm trying to see if I'll pass out without food and water, or I don't know, something like that, or how hard is to, how much calories they get from something which is already rotten. And I'm just trying to see how things will work in a couple of hours, and basically come to really close to get some conclusion, and then get shot and killed. It's just come on, but it happens.
Yes. For a question for that, you that like to loot the inventory, I believe you are reworking it at the moment too.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
button, that sort of thing.
yeah. I have finally finished the looting table that I started like, I don't know, 6 months ago.
nice.
I started like 6 months ago, but I didn't work on it for 5 months. I didn't work it for some time because I had to do other stuff, and since it wasn't planned to be included in any of updates, so it's always like something that I'm doing in the background. And I have sorted out all the loot. I'm not still like 100% that everything is like perfect. It will probably have to be tweaked out, but that was the most important stuff to organize how the loot is getting spawned, where you get specific stuff, and we have so many different stuff. So the easiest part was like military loot, because it's military, and then you switch to weapons, ammunition, gear, clothes, and everything, and it's clear. But then you have like civilian stuff, and civilian, you have like a different kind of civilian loot in the, let's say, living room, a different kind of loot in kitchen, in barn, query, you know, like bathroom, pharmacy, and they're like thousands of different kind of places, and you have to sort everything that it sort of fits and has certain probability, probability to be there. So it took a lot of time, and when you see the you know the all these like graphs and everything, they're so in some parts in some loots are so complicated that they're really really hard to move on my PC and edit because we have like a lot of loot added. So this is one step. The other step that I was planning to do over the holidays is to write the document how this loot will be implemented. And from what I heard from the programmers is that most likely, because I use the program which can really easily export these visual connections in the graph into some sort of file that can be used to parse like a database. So most likely it will be really easy to be added in the game, but then the level designers will have to go through all the areas to change this kind of stuff, which will probably take some time. But then hopefully we'll be able to have organized loot properly done, and then we will most likely be able to have stuff where people would be able to maybe edit in certain files if they don't want to have, for example, more than 8 SVDs on the level, or maybe they want to have a certain type of loot spawned really rarely, like whole military loot is much more rare than civilian and stuff like that. So this is the first step. We will see how this will go.
Yeah, we have felt quite a change in vanilla settings, finding things like codavers, that sort of thing. It's been a lot harder to find.
For sure.
You really have to look around if you want to find it.
And it seems
there
like
is some places that are more likely to spawn, but it is good in a way because it's like really forcing people to go out there to go and get stuff instead of going to the same places all the time.
Yeah. This will probably change with traders, but we will see how it will go. It's really hard to say. Things will change with airplanes also, and the parachutes a little bit. So hard to say, what players will be, what ways players will find to, to exploit these kind of things. But it's always like, it's always like finding a proper balance. It's always like it's similar like base building. First you add something, then you add something to raiders, then you again add something for defenders, and then go again for the raiders. So it will probably take some back and forth to balance everything.
Yeah, that's understandable. I did that question about because of the new traders coming into the game, the cars. Are they gonna be staying the same as in spawning on the island, or they are gonna start to spawn with only parts of the cars, for example, and you have to
what do you mean, Raven?
make a full car?
Yeah, so with 0.7, nothing will be changed much. With 0.8, we are planning to add modular cars. So at that point, most likely you will find broken vehicles, and you will have to assemble them, or you can maybe buy parts from mechanics, or you can maybe drive it to mechanic and which will fix it. Or you can buy like a whole vehicle from a trader and at the outpost, which will be really expensive. So the idea is that we definitely want to have people opportunity to get vehicles because right now game gets much easier when you find the first vehicle, and usually when you find the first, then you find the second and third, and after a couple of weeks it's really hard to find anything on the server.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I've had the experience of playing from the start, and then from playing getting in the game like 2-3 months after a wipe, and it makes a difference. You have to really fight for getting into anything.
Exactly.
You're forced to
Yeah.
read to get anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got another PvP question. Will you ever, like, when you're in combat, will you ever be able to, like, pick up or move your wounded soldier, get them, like, out of
Yes.
danger? Okay, cool.
Yes. Yeah. That's planned. Uh, we when we introduced new metabolism, a new medical system, and we were hoping that up until 0.7 we will have much more conditions added to the game. Unfortunately, we didn't. Uh,
Mhm.
yeah, usually things happen regarding development, so it wasn't intentional. But we would definitely go exploring more stuff like broken bones and everything. I have like full design documents over 30 pages with all this stuff that can happen to characters. And one of the things when you have broken bones and stuff is be able to carry your friend or maybe a person that you tied up, and that's also on the list. So I'm not sure when. We don't have like a specific time, but it will be probably in one of the smaller updates, like weekly updates, than like a general update, because most of the stuff is actually working with metabolism. We just have to make this kind of feature work by itself.
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's sort of already in without being in, kind of thing.
Well, no. Carrying people is not something that
Yeah.
is already in the game. It has to be done. It's specific stuff, but it's not like really complicated thing. The most complicated thing was to create proper metabolism that sort of works well and include all different kind of conditions, uh, and then make solutions for them. Currently, we don't have like coma, which should be in the game. We don't have any kind of sickness except for wounds, which is it's condition, but any
Yeah.
kind of some other other kind of sickness or state. Although
Infection,
everything
sort of.
is addiction and stuff like that. So uh, we will definitely go adding more these kind of things in weekly updates from beginning of the next year.
Mm-hmm. Like
Speaking of,
if you patch yourself with a rags instead of a proper or military bandage.
And having infections and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
uh, the game will change a little bit regarding that. We don't want to get it too tedious, also. So we will see how that will go.
speaking of sicknesses, will we ever, like, when or will we ever see, like, diseases that are more affecting metabolism system?
Next year, some early next year, we will start adding diseases, and that could be viral diseases, bacterial, infections. So we will start adding them with weekly updates next year
Okay,
when we return from holidays, from
awesome.
January further.
And another big question. I'm sorry, Ali. It's been kind of on my
You good, you
mind. Now, in the game, like right now, you can build a base, you loot up, you fill your base up. Pretty much, you get to a point where all there really is to do is go out and look for PvP, stuff like that. Will we ever get anything that, like, threats that could come and maybe potentially destroy our base, like type AI stuff, or something that kind of
Yes,
keeps us moving to keep our base going, other than player raids and?
yes, that's the point. That's the point of adding AI,
Hmm.
which we start with traders. Then we will go with NPCs that will control certain areas, maybe even expand through areas,
Okay.
and allow players to have some sort of relationship with them in a way that they will take some, let's say, they will have some taxes that you will have to pay so they keep you alone, or they will destroy your stuff. So something like that. That's the plan, which hopefully we'll manage to do through the next year.
through the next year. Okay, cool. And I've always, I love my PvP, but having PvE element of that sort added to the game would be fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There will be always something to do, always a threat that can happen at any time.
Yeah, well, I have regarding game development. I have history making games which are quite different from Scum, and which are all of them are, well, 90% of them are PvE games. So I would definitely love to have this like PvE stuff as long as it can be done in open world environment. Because usually when you talk about the normal game, then you have like levels which are built, to guide the player through the game, and at any given time, game knows where the players are, and goals are really simple, which is not something that you have in sandbox game. So this can be done to a certain extent, or let's say directed within points of interest, where you have like, for example, couple of entries and couple of exits, and then when you're inside, you can basically spawn enemies, spawn NPCs, whatever, to provide player with this kind of feeling that he's playing not sandbox game, but more like, let's say, Doom or something like that,
Right.
which is a quite different type of game. But still, there are like certain stuff that make things a little bit more complicated, and that is, let's say, it's quite different if you enter yourself in a bunker, or you enter with a couple of your friends, or you enter with a couple of your enemies. So game will have to, address this kind of thing and be aware of situation and be aware of your ammunition or of your weapons and everything, because in all other games, which are really stupid and simple, you basically get served with everything. So you start doing with, I don't know, simple weapon, then you get a double shotgun, then you get something else. And, the game knows that you actually have the specific weapons, and gives you specific enemies to handle. And in Scum is much more difficult. So we first have to find a way to solve these problems and then provide some kind of solution. We already did something like that with Killbox. So it basically
Yes, you recognize
does,
so many people.
yeah, it does work, but for me personally, Killbox is still too hard. And I saw people who, just come and go like it's nothing. So, it's not that easy to balance, especially when there is so huge skill difference between players, and we cannot just switch like any other game that you can basically switch from easy, medium to hard to extreme difficulty. When you have like players of totally different kind of skills playing the game, it's complicated.
Right.
But because it's complicated, it's actually really fun to make something like that work. So it's kind of interesting for us too.
When will they be introducing like missions and like little side missions, stuff like that?
Yeah, side missions and missions will come after NPCs. So finally, when we get to the point that we are satisfied with how AI work, then we will start making proper missions, and that will eventually guide us to the end of the game. So the game will have ending.
So there will be an end game. Okay, that was my next
Yeah,
question.
yeah. The plan is to have this kind of thing. We are currently we are talking about the plans. I really hope that this kind of thing can be done in this like massive multiplayer sandbox type of gameplay, where many other players can influence your progress. It's really complicated stuff. So I'm not still like sure how this will happen, or I'm probably not aware of 10% of problems that we will have to get these quests running and everything. But we will definitely try to to make everything, and we already have ideas, especially about the quests and how that will go and how that will work. And it will be probably something that nobody has done so far regarding, stuff that are added as features in the games. So hopefully they will be good, and hopefully people will accept it. But that's also, part of the job and part of the challenge, and why what we do is actually, for us really interesting and fun to do.
I got a huge one actually. It's regarding the events. Are the events gonna stay on the island, or is it possible that they could be moved to under a separate, maybe a cloned image of the island? Because there are a lot of people that they will not go to a certain place because it's an event town, and it really adds a roadblock for people if they get loot.
Yeah, we were talking about. We are aware of these issues. We know that it actually happened to me a couple of times. You're in the place where there's nobody, and then suddenly, you start to hear, players shooting
Grenades.
around you. Yeah, grenades and stuff, and it becomes really scary. Um, and basically, you can lose a lot by being there. So there's the only point, the only thing that you can do is just join the
Join the
event.
event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
That's the best
nothing
way.
else. Yeah, so I've been talking just maybe couple of days ago with level designers that we will try to make in probably for 0.8, maybe even a little earlier, a special location for the event that will be separate from the rest of the island, which is kind of also great because of several things. The first thing is performance. If we, make a closed area where
How you doing, Drewski?
people, can play deathmatch or capture the flag or whatever, we can, made it in a way that it looks good, but it's not also not like burdened with the rest of the level,
Right.
which is huge. And we can make it like specialized for certain things. So when you're playing multiplayer games like Call of Duty, which have like these small levels, I'm not talking about the Warzone, but more like Modern
Deathmatch.
Warfare. Yeah, deathmatch. So all these levels are perfectly made for with distances, with everything, so that players get the maximum of enjoyment of playing that match game. In Scum, it's quite different because a lot of events that I played eventually end up, people camping in houses, and they're not that much fun. So the plan is that we try to move them out of the general map to make specific location outside, and let us see how the community will react to that. And then, if you make, let's say, the first map, and if everybody hates it, then we'll just leave it as it is. But if people liked it, then we'll start making, more maps and stuff like that, and remove completely events from the island. At least these smaller events. That's the first plan. We have a second plan, but I'm not allowed to talk about it yet, since
Okay.
it's my idea, and our technical director doesn't like it because it's too complicated. So I will not talk about it, but we will see about it. But if we succeed to do it, then it will be really really cool stuff. Anyway, we will see.
Yeah, that's
Look
awesome.
forward to
though.
it then.
Yeah, definitely.
Just had a server owner ask for the admins of servers.
Doing good, Drewski.
Will there ever be
about yourself?
a lock picking log available?
I don't know. I don't know.
Could that be
Yeah.
complicated?
I'm not sure if it will. I will have to ask. We have a lot of requests from admins to add different kind of things, and personally, I don't mind, anything. Um, I usually, when I get requests, I obviously have to, to send to programmers to see if it's possible. Everything at the end, everything is possible. It's always how much time does it take to be made, and the other thing is it uh, is it practical? So if we are talking about the lock picking, um, if you'll have like a log that will monitor like each attempt to unlock something on the level, then it might not be too user friendly. You will have so much, like information there that most likely will not be able to, to find a way to get around. Uh, that's one of the problems that I can see right now. But
Maybe
other than
once you
that,
release the file when it's reached 1.0, that would be a
uh,
bit easier so people can
yeah,
mod and check it.
yeah, we will. If it's not like already on the list, I will add it to the list after the interview, and we will see what can be done. So whatever your admins would like to have, it's best to approach our Q&A, with the request, than to
Yep.
than to ask if we will ever do something like that. Because if we don't know that they actually need something, we will never do it. It's normal. So
Yeah.
just send us requests, say why do you need it, and we will put it on the list and see how it's possible to be added to the game.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep.
I had another admin asking if it would be possible eventually to make, for example, some sectors or some bunkers specific to have more loot than others. Would that
Yeah.
be difficult to do?
Well, we could maybe modify the code that controls zones currently. So that maybe I'm talking right now as a content guy, not a programmer. So maybe it's not that easy, but I'm trying to find a solution. So maybe we can modify this code that basically users can define areas with bigger or lower loot by drawing these areas similar to zones.
In getting
Yeah.
settings. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be if it can be done, that would be probably the easiest way, because um, otherwise I'm not sure if it would be that easy to uh, uh, to do it without us allowing modding the game, which will eventually come.
Mm-hmm. Do you have?
Any more questions?
Oh, there is plenty.
Yes.
I don't know
Oh
how much
shit.
time you have available.
Yeah, yeah, okay, but maybe so let's say let's
Let me
another
know if
half
you
an
guys
hour,
have any
and
more questions.
then we call it a day because
Yeah.
I'll have to go home.
This isn't a question, but I just wanted to mention it for anyone watching that is new to knowing who Tomislav is. One of the things that I'm still astounded by is the lengths that you have gone to personally to research this game. I know that you starved yourself in real life to study metabolism, which I'm not sure how many gaming developers would do that, but yeah, I just think that's amazing the lengths you went to for this game. Yeah.
I wanted to, the most of the things that I tried is something that you can basically find on Google
That'll be
and
my next question, Raven.
learn from reading articles and everything. But you can read about the hunger, but unless you get really hungry, you really cannot feel, how that feels. Being really hungry or being really frustrated of your teammate eating something in front of you and you haven't ate for 3 days. That's kind of frustration. It is like you're literally ready to kill him. I'm not joking. I was so. I remember that I was like on the third day of just drinking water and nothing else, and I was fine. After first 24 hours you're basically fine. You don't feel any hunger. And then our lead programmer arrived with this piece of chocolate, and he started to eat it, and it was so it was so frustrating for me to listen, his chewing it, that I was just looking at him like I would kill him. It was terrible. It was terrible. So yeah, but the things that are kind of interesting is that let's say that 90% of everything that I tried can be googled out and learned from the different articles and everything, but 10% were quite different than the stuff that I read, and I believe that it's like the part that we are all unique regarding certain things. For example, the way how I'm built is that I'm really hard gainer. For me it's really hard to gain both muscles and or fat, and I have like I had I had tried testing where I was like allowed to eat anything at any time. So I was literally trying to stuff myself with everything just to see how my body react. And it took around 3 weeks. It's always like from 2 to 4 weeks for my body to adjust to certain diet. And I did gain certain amount of fat. It's a normal thing. It's always that. But after 3 weeks, I didn't gain anything. I was just going more often on the bathroom. Pooping or stuff like that. So I remember that I at that point I went like 6 to 8 times on toilet to empty my bowels. How much I ate, and yeah, and that was for me was kind of normal thing. It's not like I felt like bad. It's like I had diarrhea or something like that. It was just like my body had to dispose unnecessary food that was like still in my bowels. And the other interesting thing was to monitor how much it takes for the food to be actually digested, and that's something that you can notice by not eating that much. So it takes a certain amount of time for stool to be properly made in a way that is what I say a perfect stool is that when you don't have to wipe your ass after it. So that's like perfect taking of crap, So and I'm not sure if you're doing this kind of thing, but I usually like to talk about this kind of stuff. So for me, it's kind of normal stuff. So basically, it's really wise to when you end up doing whatever you're doing on the toilet to look down and examine the color and the texture. You don't have to smell it, but you have to examine what comes out of you, because the
help with your guts.
Yeah.
yeah, this kind of indication if something is going wrong with your body is you will probably notice it first by examining your stool. So it's quite important stuff. So I did examine it a lot, especially when you try different kind of diets, rapidly changing. For example, just eating, for example, keto diet with low carbs for, let's say, 1 month, and then switching for a high carb diet really quickly. And then you notice that first of all it's not healthy, and my body did react. I had a rash and everything on my face and stuff like that, but eventually it did go well. But there is quite different kind of stool that you get from one food and the other food, and especially if you don't eat enough fiber, then you get something else. So that was sort of some sort of experimentation I did for Scum, because I really wanted to understand how does it take for a body to process certain food. I'm not saying that all this experience that I gone through is implemented in the game, but it did help me a lot when I've designed the metabolism and how it works in the game currently.
Is this why your tune smells their finger every time they're done wiping?
Actually, that's my animation. it's what we recorded like I don't know 3.5 years ago, and back then we didn't have any proper gear for recording animations for mocapping animations and motion capturing, and we have this like Chinese suit that was too small for me. I'm not a huge guy, but for Chinese I'm probably huge. So it was really hard to put all these sensors, and we had to make the animation for for taking dump, and that was actually the same animation from that area. So
That's
I
funny.
had to record it. So you basically
That's
basically
hilarious.
have yes, you have my stuff in the game. I'm not recording anymore. Any animations, I stopped it. So currently our animators are doing it.
That's
But
awesome.
that was like a fun time. It's kind of cool to record these kind of things.
Yeah, it's hilarious. All right, we got someone who wants to know about what type of aircrafts are gonna be in the game.
So first we will have like these biplanes, more like crop dusters,
Okay.
which are not like too fast, not too slow, and then we will see. I personally not try adding too much this kind of stuff like modern fighter planes and stuff like that. So I don't think that they will like benefit of to and give any benefit to gameplay. But if it's a plane like a crop duster, then if it's not like too fast, then it might be interesting to to have one and maybe to scout and I don't know, maybe raid bases. I don't know
Right.
what people will do, but what I can say, it will be really hard to attain one. It will be really really hard.
But with the planes and everything coming in, is the map gonna be like later on, like after one? Is the map gonna be expanded to the full map size of what
No,
was?
no. Most likely we will keep the map as it is, uh, because we already are on the edge regarding the performance and how much Unreal Engine can handle.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Unreal can handle a bigger map than what we have right now.
Okay.
But because of the planes, they will not be really fast, so there will be plenty of like room for them to maneuver. I wouldn't worry about the space that will be too small for airplanes.
And
Yeah,
regarding
it's already quite big.
yeah, I mean it is pretty. And regarding the fame points and map, are they eventually? I know the map's gonna eventually disappear at some point, but what about the fame
Yes.
points?
No, for now, no. We still have plans for fame points.
Okay.
So more or less the same, more or less the same plans as we had before. Things have changed a little bit, but still, like people use them for respawning, which wasn't, like planned from the beginning. It's something that we used as some sort of currency in the game. But basically, we didn't touch fame points from that point on. We will keep them. The idea is that we would definitely love to rank players playing the game on the server, and the fame points are because of its TV show, so it's the best way how to present players as successful players, within the TV show. So yeah, they will stay. We will probably add some functionalities regarding that. Probably some sponsorships and awards for popular players.
Right. So with
But
that, I don't mean to interrupt. So with that, will event fame points and in-game fame points be kind of separate then?
most likely no. Most likely no.
Yeah, because it becomes more difficult and difficult to make fame as your character
Yeah,
grows.
yeah, I understand. Yes, I understand. The whole idea for the and story-wise, how it was, you know, sort of made that people who are watching the show basically they watch these like events the most. So they sort of reward players who are good in these events, but they're also like people who like to watch everything else which happens on the island. So it's like some sort of ratio between risk and reward. If it's like if you're not taking risks and playing on safe, I don't know, being in some remote area of the map and trying to build a base and everything without being approached by other players and stuff, then your advance will be slower. But if you're going to events, then you engage other players, you fight for some sort of title, then you have opportunities to gain more fame. This is, of course, how things were designed.
Right.
How I'm not sure if this will. I wouldn't say that this wouldn't change if it doesn't work like everything else, but we still didn't touch this kind of thing.
Right.
Personally, I would love to have AI in events also.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I
So that,
agree.
so that we can control situation where just a couple of players go there to gain fame points by just faking, like farming them, not just playing. So events should be really really challenging
Yeah, I
for
agree.
for players. Yeah. So if we manage to do events challenging, then everything else will work. Currently it's not like that. So
Okay.
currently, events are events are basically place where you can farm points or just have little fun, but most of the game is played outside these events.
Right, right.
So it's not like properly balanced.
Okay. I got a. There is a lot of questions. Sorry, guys, if I'm
Oh,
probably
man.
missing a lot, but one more about the battle royale mode. Seeing if there is there gonna be any improvements on about it, because I think that's a good thing that could like a modded part that you guys made, I believe. The battle
Yes.
royale mode.
Well, it was it was sort of a challenge to prove that even if we had PvP mode inside, that nothing will specifically change with the game because
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
it was not our goal to make a battle royale game, and there were like always people who claim that PvP is much more important, and there's like people who are claiming that PvE is much more important. So the whole sort of point of this kind of thing is to make a proof from our side that even if we make something that is completely PvP, I'm not saying that we made it perfectly, so but we did made sort of battle royale stuff, that it will not change a lot about the game in a way that we will suddenly grow, in thousands of players, or we will suddenly lose thousands of players. It doesn't work like that. So basically, it's just one of the, let's say, options that we currently have in the game. We will not, we don't have plans to explore it in a way that we start currently working on only battle royale.
I agree with that.
That's not the whole point. We definitely want to go more like what I said before, PvE, more like
Demon, thank you
survival,
for the sub.
more like adding core stuff to the game to put everything together, more like fixing the issues that are from the first day of the release and stuff like that. So to have more complete version, and then eventually when we come out with 1.0, then we will see if it's battle royale something that our community wants to have. But if you're asking about making some sort of battle royale event on the whole island, I'm not sure again if it's not the problem to make something like that. the problem is with all these other players that are playing PvE survival, and then you just throw everybody, you know, in like this like battle royale event. I'm not sure if it's like a forced one. I'm sure that there will be people who wouldn't like to play.
Yeah, I agree.
You know. So I'd rather not go in that direction right now. There's no point of forcing these kind of things to players.
Honestly, I think that's better server side anyway.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a question I remember reading about driving in vehicles and like hitting signs and stuff like that, crashing into like some of the signs that, and realistically, if you hit them, they should be, you know, broke down or destroyed. Will stuff like that be implemented so that way you're not hitting a small tree or a small sign and, you know, blow up in your car?
I don't know. I don't know. The problem with all this kind of stuff is that again, synchronization with everybody else.
Exactly.
Yeah. So imagine going through I don't know, bunch of crates, destroying all of them. Now, if these crates even move to a certain location, you know, let's say a couple of meters, centimeters away, then their location has to be synchronized with all other players in the vicinity, and that's a whole lot of you know, traffic over the network. Now, if you're talking about simple distractions, that shouldn't be a problem. So if you ram into, I don't know, something and that gets destroyed and disappears, that's fine. So this is something that is possible.
Okay.
If you are talking about some sort of advanced physics, where you wanna, for example, you split something in half, then these halves are dropping on the ground, you know, rolling on the ground and have collision, and basically physics are in control of these rumbles or parts, and if somebody shoots you know, at you, then these parts can block bullets, then no. The reason for that is because physics in multiplayer function differently on each client.
Right,
so
exactly.
what happens on your client might be completely different that's happening on the other client. It's like, you know, dropping the coin or the ball on uneven surface for, you know, many times. You can drop it once, it will go in one direction. Then you can drop it, you know, practically in the same way, it will go to the other direction.
Right.
And that's why you have this like notification when you play multiplayer games that, you know, things might be a little bit different than when you play a single player game.
Right.
Yeah, so if you're talking about the simple distractions, which will probably have to be with each server restart, will have to be, you know, built, which is not the problem. The server, it's probably too complicated for the server to remember everything that has been distracted. And if they're pretty much limited, reasonably limited, then it's possible. If you are making, you know, like mayhem, that people can destroy like half of the level, that's not possible in this type of game. If it's like a smaller game, smaller level, you know, that can be, let's say, refreshed with each session. Session might be like half an hour, not 8 months, you know, then yes. Unfortunately, we are not making this kind of game. So we will see what is possible. I know what you're referring to. I'm also, I would also love to see, you know, stuff getting destroyed. We have to explore what is possible, what is not. These are like still cosmetics, so we will leave it for later.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean,
the puppet being in one location and someone kick it and it's in another location for somebody else.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say with the puppets. Like, it'll be in a different location for Ali than it will be for me. I'll kick it and it's moving like across the field somewhere.
So you already experienced this kind of thing. Once you turn on the physics, you don't know how it will react, and especially because if you have like issues on your, let's say, client, like your PC, you have like a maybe slower CPU, maybe you have like lag or something, then this physics
slower
at
internet,
your
yeah.
client can go wild completely, so this is why multiplayer games are much complicated than single player games.
Right.
Yeah.
Any more
Did you have
questions?
Any updates on prosthetic limbs?
Oh, no. I had like idea. I'm not sure if this idea will eventually be in the game. I hope that it will be. First of all, we cannot just chop somebody's hand because, well, legs are a bit simpler because then you just drop to the ground and crawl. But if you remove the right arm, then that person cannot hold a weapon, which is also not a problem. But if you sort of remove the left arm, then the person should be able to hold, I don't know, revolvers. But the problem is with reloading, So if you remove, it removes anything from the player, then we have like stuff that gets really complicated. So we have to do all the variations of animations and stuff for that. So most likely this will not happen. What might happen is that maybe we will see how the people will react to this kind of thing. We will on this island, except for the outpost, there will be like one major location, which will present the place where the company personnel are basically dropped, and this will be off limits to players. We will allow them to sneak into these areas, probably. When we start talking about the missions and story and stuff like that, there will be like quests to go there, and there you might have opportunity to replace your limb with maybe some sort of cyber stuff. Now, I know that people don't like this kind of things. I know that people don't like sentries and stuff like that. The thing is that story-wise, the game
part of the
is
lore.
set in the future, but the setting is made like to look like end of the last century, beginning of this century. So there are like the world outside of Scum is completely different. It looks more like cyberpunk than the world that basically players are playing right now. Maybe one day we will make the game about that also, but that's very far in the future. So we will see how much of this kind of things will people accept. We will definitely not push too much of stuff, sci-fi stuff on the island itself, except for let's say these drones, except for company personnel that will be heavily guarded. So if you go there, you will probably find stuff that are like more advanced, but you will not be able to use them, bring them with you, and use them against other players for now. You will have to deal with them there or die.
Right. I got one more question. Sorry. In character creation, will you ever be able to make like a left-handed or right-handed character? Because in reality, they would work completely different.
No.
It's a whole lot of animation to do.
Yeah.
That this means that we will have to transfer all the animation to do from the right side to the left side. It's actually really complicated thing.
Okay.
Right now. So unfortunately, no.
Okay.
I've got a question from Noel about getting a localization pack for translation. Like I believe he would like to have it translated to Czech or Czechoslovak language. I believe you guys have made somewhere on your Discord that is available for that purpose.
Yes. So we have this open system where people can apply and translate the game for themselves on different languages. I asked about Czech Slovak language translation, why it's not possible. The answer that I got from Q&A is that there is like, I'm not sure if it's sure or not. I didn't check it for myself, but the answer was that the Steam currently doesn't support these two languages. Not sure why. You know, I'm not sure if that's like true or maybe I misunderstood the thing, but it's from what I've heard, it's the problem is not on our side. Even if we sort of made the translation, I'm not sure if it will be able to integrate with Steam. So that's the whole problem, as I was informed, you know, just a couple of minutes ago. So that's the idea.
And
So we
Mr.
don't
Fedor
mind
asked-
having game on any language. We don't mind having game on any language.
Yes, it's just really limited by Steam itself. Okay. I've got a question from Mr. Feudal asking if there will be any more improvised weapons like nail gun, slingshot, improvised grenades that
Paintball gun.
we pin, like we could see in your trailer that person using a pipe bomb and throwing it to the car.
Yeah. Yes, we will add some. The issue with improvised weapons, if they're not explosives, is that people usually don't waste their time to make one. And it's much easier to find something on the island. So unless we significantly reduce the loot, especially the military loot, adding improvised weapons simply don't make any sense. We already have like several improvised weapons, and I really rarely I almost
Year of
never
the Red.
seen
That's more of
players
an
use them.
optimization thing. It kind of went into.
I do a couple of them. I did a couple of them by myself. So especially, you know, the shotgun at the beginning, but after, you know, a couple of weeks, you know, they are literally useless. So I would not waste too much time on this kind of things to add weapons that are like, well, I don't know if there is need for improvised firearms, because we already have like pistol and the shotgun. Nail gun is something which is interesting. I don't know, maybe we can make something like that. It has to provide people with certain advantages so that they basically decide to use them. Although I don't see any reasons why people might not be able to find, you know, like proper nail gun. You know, although from what I saw, they're pretty much, you know, like useless on more than, I don't know, a couple of meters. So I'm not. We will have to modify this kind of thing. Yeah, but what kind of be okay to go in direction of improvised explosives, pipe bombs, Molotov cocktails, and stuff like that. So this is something that people will use. You know, so there's definitely a point of making this kind of weapon.
Cool. Yeah, I remember you saying back. Somebody was saying that fire was like one of the hardest things. That you probably wouldn't put Molotov cocktails, something like that. Will that change?
No, we are planning to add Molotov cocktails. We are planning to add fire also, especially because one of the monsters that Mr. Brenner will actually have a flamethrower. So, but yeah, the flames are not easy to make. Not flame themselves. It's the flame that is flammable and can destroy stuff around you and might cause the problems. We might decide to go a little bit unrealistic regarding that, because if we allow people, you know, to flame things easily, and they will probably, you know, find matches and lighters real easy, then they will destroy all wooden walls,
Right.
bases, which would be too easy. So most likely these kind of things will not happen, at least not at the beginning. But what I would like to have is flames that behave similar, like flames in Far Cry, that basically follow the wind, and maybe have NPCs that can put your base on fire, and you have to defend from them. Because in that way, it's I don't know. It feels more natural than because you can defend yourself from the NPCs. You know, we can know that you're on the server, and if we give players opportunity to to use flames against other players, they will probably attack where you're not on the server, so you will not be able to defend yourself. So that's sort of direction that I would like to go.
And can you get into a little bit of the modular base building, and also will there ever be like underground, like will you ever be able to make like a little underground base or hideout on the
Underground, no. Unreal Engine isn't good. Is not taking well terraforming.
Okay.
You know, like making holes, digging and stuff. Also, there is issue with synchronization with everybody else. Also, there is issue with pathfinding for NPCs. So if you make
You
you
start
put
making
any
holes everywhere.
yeah
Like,
yeah so if you start digging in the ground, then you know all NPCs, animals, monsters will need to know where that leads. So you know there are just too many problems to go in that direction. Regarding the modular base building, it's planned for 0.8. We already had like one prototype of working, which is promising. We would definitely go in the way that you will be able to build your own cabins, you know, your own buildings, your own
Awesome.
stuff. We will probably go in the way that there is like there will be like proper a way of leveling up. So that the way that you will not be able to build like 10 stores unless you put like concrete at the bottom, stuff like that. So you know, so we are thinking about that also, and in general, the progress of leveling up will be very similar to what you have currently with walls. So this is pretty good system. With leveling up the walls from the wooden to to scrap metal to brick to concrete is kind of way where people will be able to level up their walls on the buildings also. And regarding the other way of damaging this kind of stuff, we will go in direction that certain items will damage certain type of walls. So axe will be good against the wood, a sledgehammer would be good against the metal, and a C4 would be good against cement or brick. So yeah, again, also the shotgun will be good against the first two. So we will return. Yeah, we will return options for players to destroy certain amount of walls and give options to get inside the base by using proper weapons for this kind of walls that make the most damage. Because currently we sort of didn't allow this kind of things anymore because people were exploiting stuff. But with modular base building, we are trying to put one of the tasks to have also breaching this kind of walls as a separate feature that we avoid things going random in this direction because they're really hard to balance. Then we just have to turn off the damage that, for example, shotguns do for everything, which is kind of bad because I don't see any reason why people with a lot of shotgun ammunition actually can make a decent amount of damage on wood or even scrap metal.
Right.
So that's the plan for 0.8.
Okay. I got a question about fireworks. You kind of already briefly mentioned it with based on something else, but they want to know if you're going to be able to see fireworks further away, so you can kind of use them as more like or something.
I was expecting that one. We got a lot of questions about it. Yeah, currently they are limited because of optimization. So I think that there's still like room to make them go further. Maybe we can reduce some of them to just one, let's say, stronger flare that goes up that can be seen from further away. So yeah, there are like options for that, but we'll have to see because you know regarding the optimizations that we are handling, there are so many things that can go wrong with just simple stuff. You know, just basic, and people don't realize that, and they usually like argue, why can I cannot see the fireworks from far away because that's not realistic and stuff like that. But basically, we already like you know touch the limit where we have to be really careful about everything that we do and add to the game.
Another question I had was a while back, gunshot sound. Be able to hear them a little bit further away, a little bit more distinct, because right now it seems like they're, I wouldn't say wonky, but they're kind of hard to distinguish exactly what direction, set meter of how far they could.
So what you're saying that before it was better, or is it the same? So what's your feeling? Because I know that there were like issues with regarding the sounds and that something stopped working. I'm not sure exactly what.
Yeah, it seemed like it was better a while ago. Probably in the beginning of I'm not entirely sure. It's been changing so much, especially it's hard to tell with the new sound and everything kind of going on now with the lag, the sound lag. But it's kind of
Yeah, maybe we can wait for this sound lag to be fixed and then see if things work properly. I will definitely talk with our sound guy about that.
Okay.
I know that he's really eager to to improve sound in any way.
Yeah, because sound is like majorly important, especially in a survival game. Any game,
Yeah.
really. A lot of people rely more on sound than visual.
Yeah, I personally think that some sounds are too high or too low, that
Yeah,
they
I
are not
agree.
like balanced well.
Like the wind
as I
sound
play.
and
So
cricket sound.
yeah, it needs certain balancing parts definitely. Well, I expect that these kind of things will be focused more when we get closer to 1.0, and when we have all other things working properly, then we will focus more towards these details and to improve the general feeling. As long as we are currently fighting with like critical bugs with lag and stuff, then we are more or less happy if the game performs well.
Right.
Not about how it sounds. But I agree with you. It sounds are like 50% of all gameplay, so they are quite important.
Right. And another question I had from Skitch here is offline rating. Is there any way, like, is there anything to prevent like offline rating or anything, or is that just all okay? Something like that.
Yeah, that's the issue that has been dragging for a long time, and I actually wrote a document about some suggestions and features, and maybe I can even present it to the public as an idea of how we might handle these kind of things. The problem with presenting these ideas, and they're like more like brainstorming. They're not like, yeah, I say something and that this will be in the game. It's not like that. So I have a problem. I have ideas how to solve it. I sort of present it to the audience, to community, and we basically try to think of something together that might work.
Right.
So I did write something about it. We didn't have time to find like a person who will be able to implement this kind of thing. But yes, we see the problem. There are like different approaches that can solve offline raiding. For example, one of the things would be NPCs for hires, or maybe sentry guns, or stuff that are like that will be defending your base no matter if you are here or there. The other thing would be notifying you on your mobile phone if somebody has stepped on a trap or activated alarm. So basically that you know that somebody is in the base, so you have a chance to log in the game and defend yourself. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And also we have like options for damage control, depending on if the defender is logged on the server, if defender is in the flag area, and damage control of how much attackers can make damage on walls and stuff like that. So there are like options that we can take. We can discuss that. We can see with the community, what they feel about it. But absolutely, I'm strongly against offline raiding as a defender. As an attacker, I would love to have opportunity to offline raid somebody. So I don't know. It's it's easier if somebody's not at the base. Obviously, if you have like a strong clan inside the walls, then there is like no chance that you will get inside. So it's not like easy thing.
Right, or
It has
protect
to be like
AI
yeah,
or something. Protect your base while you're
and
offline.
yeah, and especially when you have like and I encountered like thousands of times people. First, you get complaints from raiders about how difficult it is to enter in the base, or how lockpicking is difficult, or getting C4. And then at the same time, you get complaints from defenders, that somebody got into their base and it happened over the night, and they don't realize that maybe a gathering of all resources and everything took for weeks. But the problem was that for defender, it happened like in, let's say, 8 hours while he was or she was not logged in. So it's a problem. It's a problem.
There's so many people that work, and you know what I mean, and they're like they don't really have a lot of time to play, but they like to play on official server or any other server, and they don't want to play single player, but they don't have a lot of time, and then they get raided, and then all that work because it's so much material and time and
yeah, I understand that part. I also got raided a couple of times. So, but it's with bases and stuff. It's not just
tough.
like one thing to defend your base. It's many things.
Exactly.
So you cannot just rely on one thing that will help you. People are so smart, especially players with like a lot of thousands of hours in the game. They know so much stuff that you as a beginner simply cannot grasp, and it's not easy to do these kind of things. It takes a lot of practice and experience. Hello?
Okay.
Huh? So is that all, or
people wants to be able to kill sharks to eat them. I don't know why, but people would like notification phone, definitely, yes.
they would like to have sharks to eat them, or to eat sharks?
Thank you for the sub. Really appreciate it.
Eat the sharks. Okay, so big game fishing.
Yeah, because really, there's no way to defend yourself against sharks at all. You can't punch in water. You can't. kick them, try to kick yourself away from 'em.
Yes, that would be with the swimming and maybe hopefully some diving gear. That's what the
right.
question earlier.
Yeah, yeah, we will work on that. So yeah, I agree with
Okay.
that. Players need to have some way of, to shoot to kill a shark.
And defend themselves. I know. Cool.
Yeah.
We've had you for 2.5 hours. I
Yeah,
only thought that we were only gonna have you for an hour. I'm
yeah.
sure.
I always give more.
What do you want to
Thank
know,
you.
Dave? I'm
Thanks a lot.
sorry.
You do give a lot to the community, us, all of us streamers of your game. We really enjoy having you around.
Thank you.
It's
Definitely
been
appreciate
awesome.
it.
Thank you for letting us do that.
And thank you for Scum. We love it.
Yes.
We're all
Thank you.
addicted. We've all got at least 3,000 more hours. You guys have got 4 or 5 now. Yeah.
6.5.
What Libya thing,
Yeah.
Dave?
We love Scum.
I'll squeeze it in.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. For me, it's always great to answer any questions, as long as I know the answers. I'm sorry about 0.7. We did plan it for the end of the year. If things go well, unfortunately, with all the best intentions, things didn't go well with the lag, and really there was no any point of pushing the update out and having the game in unplayable
Yeah.
situation. So I hope that the Christmas update that we're preparing for you will fix all these things. I have like really good uh, results from what I've heard from today's build, and yeah, and you will not have to wait for 0.7 for a long time. Also, we are preparing some surprises for you with 0.7. We didn't say about everything that will be inside. So I really hope that you will appreciate it when it's done.
Yeah, you guys like to sneak some sneaky stuff in every once in a while. I've noticed.
Yes.
Yeah, always. It's always like that.
Quick cut fix that's got a little thing added to it.
Mm.
Got to
Yeah.
find out.
We always like surprises.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Great.
Yeah, we appreciate all the hard work you guys do too. It is a lot
I
of work.
just had one more quick question for the next supporter pack and parachutes. Well, I'm I'm guessing that was a troll, obviously, to have.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
When can we expect the third supporter pack?
Currently, we don't have any plans to release a supported pack, and that was like more like a joke that will
Okay.
make supported pack with a parachute, and only people who have a supported pack will be able to spawn on the island. It was a joke, it was a
Yeah.
joke. So no, I'm sometimes I'm like that. So don't take me too seriously.
That's one of the things I love in this game. There's actually so many little hidden bits of
Mhm.
humor throughout all this game, like the Scum bar with all the humorous signs, and go check out some of the cheese names if you're near the cheese factory. There's
Yeah.
just a lot of little dark humor throughout the game, and I just love it. It's great.
Thank you. So guys, it was a pleasure. I have to go.
Yep.
Hope everything was okay. Hope I answered all the questions. Have a great Christmas and great
Thank you.
next year. So
You
hope
too.
to see you online at
Yes,
some
you
point.
as well. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
Yeah,
for doing this.
have a nice holiday. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. See you. Bye.
All right, have a good
Bye,
one.
thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, quite a bit.
He gave us a lot of time. Yeah.
We've got quite a bit of information. I might
Yeah,
have
got a
to.
lot of
I might have to
questions
go rewatch the streams just to kind of build it back up
Yes.
again.
I think I'm gonna try and rewatch it and timestamp everything
Yeah.
so that yeah, we got all the questions going and answered.
I hoped we were able to get some things answered that was not answered. It's tough, you know. It's a tough thing. Really get into it. The game's being so early. Trying to get as much information as we possibly can for guys. It's not really easy in a little bit of time.
Yep. Yeah, that was cool. That was great. Awesome. Tommy is great. Yeah, definitely. No chance. Tommy is awesome.
It was awesome. Definitely. What do you guys think? Chat? Alley stream? Everybody stream? Do more of these. Yeah, we should definitely try and do some more. I mean, they have done some interviews with other streamers.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna do more.
Yeah, they're
eventually.
gonna
I
do.
know we couldn't ask every single question. Try to ask them what else was the most important, most interesting. But I did what I could to get everyone's question in. I hope I got everyone on my chat. I'm sure Ripper did the same.
Yeah, I mean
on his side.
and we did it completely different, guys. We have 2 streams going. You know what I mean? Two separate content creators, and both working together, trying to get answers for you guys. And I think that was something a little bit different too. Trying to work together and answer, ask questions, back and forth, and it's pretty good for the first time doing that.
Yeah,
I mean, we're only like half prepared, Allie was more prepared than me, but I mean, I have some stuff written down, but I was getting most of the stuff I wanted to, get more of what the viewers wanted to know, rather than what I wanted to know.
Yeah, try to prepare the question in advance and get everyone to join the Discord to ask the questions.
Yeah, Dave, and
I'm sure we'll get more time eventually later on.
Yeah, and I apologize, guys, if we weren't able to get to everybody's questions. It was kind of, listening and trying to read, chat and trying to get everything, going back and forth and getting as much information as we possibly could, If we missed you, I apologize.
Dealing with Kitty's shenanigans.
Yeah, I know. Spawning bunnies and running in boats.
Holding a dildo.
Playing with the dildo.
Oh, she actually fished them.
Oh, you caught the dildo?
Fished the dildos. Yeah, she caught them both. But she's just gone AFK now.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care exactly what happens in the game. I'm finally going to get to be able to pull my pants down.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Like, we're getting a lot. Like, he gave us a lot of stuff.
A lot of info, a lot of his time, yeah.
Like a lot of leaks and things that will probably be coming in, and like.
But by the look of it, we're gonna get that Christmas patch very soon, because their build was seemed to be pretty going well. Usually when the build is well, within 2, 3, 4 days, it's released to the public.
Thank you, Dave, for the sub. Really appreciate that.
A bit more testing done, and then it gets released. So expect the Christmas patch soon, I believe.
I mean, things are coming much later. Some things are coming much later than we expected. But they're coming. They're coming, and I've said it in so many times. We just have to be patient, because we all of us, we don't exactly know what they have to go through to get certain things to work proper. You know what I mean? They're trying to work around the clock, and they don't even have time to play their own game.
They are the first pushing the Unreal Engine this way, I believe. Like, yeah, as much as what they are doing. So when you're a pioneer like this, well, sort of a pioneer, you get to have to work out all the bugs yourself.
And working with the community and putting, things in the game that the community wants rather, than just going on their vision of the game is too, that puts deadlines on certain things and that puts holds on a lot of things because not only, they're making their own game, but they also want to make a game that we all want to play. And that the community is a part of. And that's amazing. Not many games, or not a lot of games, if any, guys, this one does that. Until they let mods take control. I mean, the game's not even fully done, and they're already letting, server owners take control of how they want the game to be, or how they think the game can be played, or you know what I mean? There's so many different options. Devs are letting us do that.
It is. Yeah, it is all option available at the moment. I am excited for the PV side. I'm a big PvP guy, but I love like I was saying, in the PvE side of things. That's gonna be really interesting.
Yeah, me too. Because you can't really have all the PvP without any PvE. Like you have to, maintain your character, in metabolism and stuff in order for your to work correctly in that PvP battle.
I don't know, Jacob. I think it might be actually Monday, Tuesday, sometimes in the next 4 or 5 days, I believe, just before Christmas. But yeah, if their build is working, when we did the streamer events and stuff, we had the very first build, the 0.6, and that was 3 days before 3 days before the public release. So yeah, Monday, Tuesday might be the way. But,
Anyway, guys, I'm off to bed. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, night, ET.
good night.
Night,
Good night.
Night.
Thank you, everyone that tuned in. That was great.
Yeah. Might it's around.
Yeah, I invite everyone to go probably and join Reaper on his stream because it is 2:30 a.m. here and I've got kids. I got to get up tomorrow morning, and
I've got to sleep in while he gets up tomorrow morning. So
yeah. Rightio. Rightio, mate.
Alrighty, brother. You guys are off?
Alrighty. Yeah.
Alright.
I'm just gonna post your stream in.
Ah, what's my tune doing? My tune's doing weird stuff.
Is that broken?
No, I tabbed out and then it's me. Mine.
Does that kill you, the dildo? I think it does it?
I don't
It
know.
does a bit of damage.
I like how it makes sparks when it hits the ground. Like, jeez.
Got you. That was a nice little shot.
Damn it.
Let's move. McCoy, appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for stopping in. By the way, it's Friday. Game on. Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they keeping a lot of options server side. I think that's good.
All right, Reaper.
All right, Ellie.
You have a good
Kitty.
night, man. Have a good game wherever you go
Guys,
play. I
have
don't know
a
where you're going.
Great night. I don't know. I have no idea where I'm going.
Night,
some
Reaper.
Have a good night. I don't know. Where do you guys want to go? Refresh players. What's going on here? Jacob. My computer's like really weird. My light is like flashing. And At one point, gonna play a total different game and I bet on that. Nah. You see, we just have to be patient. You know, that's the main thing. We just gotta be patient. Wow, like my ping is like really, really high on all these servers. There are a lot of people playing right now. That's good. But I don't know why my ping is so high on all these servers. Bullsden just had a fresh wipe. Did they? Let me see. Got a lot of servers that are saved in here. 53. I don't know how many are on. Yeah. Whoa, put that thing away! Put that thing away! Last night they wiped. No bot so far either. Alright. We'll go in, mess around. I don't know how many are on. Oh, of course it's nighttime. Well, you put me in a good spot. Oh, you got a boat? Nice. I need an axe. I'm gonna make an axe and I'm gonna go in there and see if I can't find something to shoot. Give me something. There. You there. A couple bushes here. Perfect. So yeah, guys, we got a lot of good information. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't even know where to process all of this stuff. Because there's so much coming. Seem like fate. There's so much coming to this game. Like, this game, like, I've said it from the beginning. Like, when this game is done, it's gonna be the #1 survival game out there. Like, nobody's gonna put this game down. But the biggest thing is, you know, a lot of the things is, you know, they're having issues with is, you know, the what you call it, the optimization. You know, once they add new things in, you know, things break, and it's really hard to keep the game optimized, you know, with everything that's coming in, you know. If something comes in, you know, breaks something else, and oh man. No. I don't know why my internet is like really acting up right now. Hey, yo. Here, take that and that. Whoa, whoa. 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 My house. Give me these. Any coffee? Anything good? No. In here, anything? Anything good in here? No. No. In here. Nothing? Search the toilet? Nope. Search the toilet? Nope. Going on up. Oh, hello, papito. I want to be able to pick these puppets up and throw them out the window. That'd be cool, right? Pick them up. Well, yeah, that's the major thing that they're working on is the lag. You know, and they're aware of it all, you know. They're aware of everything. They just gonna take time. You know? Main thing is just have to be patient. You know, keep reporting, you know, the bugs and just keep reporting everything. When we see it, when we come across it. So things can get fixed, you know? Grandpa's answer, my technical question was interesting somehow. Acknowledging. Yeah. I mean, even if it never gets to that point, but you know, it could still. You know, maybe later on, you know, maybe things will change, you know, and you know, we'll go from there. Yeah, yeah. And they're pushing the limits. You know what I mean? They're pushing the limits as far as they possibly can, and there's not many games that do that. Imagine being able to pick this up and like spraying somebody with it, the fire hose or fire extinguisher. Whoa. Take that. And that. And that. They took. Did they take the max? There's no max on this. I don't really see any max. They definitely do agree. Oh, for sure. For sure. You know, when... For as much that they put into this game, like, you can tell the, you know, the passion. Like, when Tomislav talks about the game, you can tell, you can hear his passion. You know what I mean? In the game. And he wants it to be successful. Oh yeah, there's max. I just wasn't in the right area. Oh, you little bitch. Here. Sit down. Go get them. Actually, I'm in the wolves den. Stupid papito. Awesome time. Yeah, no, it was freaking awesome. I had a blast. Definitely was a lot of fun. Definitely was a lot of fun. Yeah, right. I don't even really like this area. No. You're not very accurate. I will not freeze. Not for you. Alright, let's go over where the loot is. Yeah, no, right? They know they're rubber banding for me, so they can fuck around with me, huh? Yeah, man, there's still so many questions that I wanted to ask and didn't. But there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more. Yeah, I know. They should be in the same spot. But that's all in the server. That's all in the optimizations. That's what he was talking about. Like when the puppet's here for me and it's over here for Allie. You know, and that's based on, you know, our internet, our PC, our hardware, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that take effect. That you gotta take an effect for this game. You know, so many things. It's not just, you know, the server or your ping. Or... Oh, there's a vehicle here. Yeah, exactly. I got a nice hat. I like my hat. There is a lot of loot here though, but I gotta go to the other side. Where am I? There, I gotta go to the south end. South end has all the good loot. Need a car battery in race? Oh, you've seen that one? You've been there? Are you here? Come on, I got my construction hat. You won't hurt me. Oh, there is someone here. Yeah, maybe I should find a car battery. He's in this building. Go around. I don't know if he's got a gun or not. I gotta get to the south side. He's probably already looted it. So how's everybody doing today? What did you guys get out of the interview? You guys enjoy it? You think we should do more? I think we should try and do some more. Let's go. May have already was over here. Allie, hope you have a great rest of your night, brother. Definitely had a lot of fun, and I'll catch you later if you're on, bro. That I can't carry. Throw a cork at him. I think he's in this building. Nobody's gonna see me. Where's the one building? Oh, it's over here. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's over here. No, this isn't it. No, that's all the workshops. That's highly immature. Be right back, folks. Rocks at him. Hey, Joshy, how you doing? Oh, a little chilly. A little. So, I was looking for that one. Really need to urinate, huh? Who are you shooting? Oh, he's over in that building. Couple people here. Couple players here. Actually, what I think I'm gonna do, guys, I think I'm gonna end this stream, just this one, and I'm gonna restart another one in about a half hour or so. Half hour, 45 minutes or so. This way, just so I can separate the interview from the other stream. I don't want people coming in and be like, oh, where's the interview? You're just playing, blah, blah, blah. And the interview is already done. So I don't want to give people the wrong idea that we're doing it or you know what I mean, it's already done. So I'm going to end this one, and we will be back in about a half hour, 45 minutes or so, with a new stream. Guys, thank you all so much. It was definitely awesome. We got so much information. Still processing it all. Like it was really good. Big shout out to Tomislav and the Scum devs, like whole team, everybody, the hard work they're putting into the game. You know, the game is truly amazing, and they're going the extra length. It is nuts. It is nuts. But yeah, we will be back in, I'd say, an hour or so, if not sooner. I'm gonna start a new stream. Yeah, guys, much love. Gratefully appreciate you all. Thank you all for stopping in, and I'll see you soon. Peace.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep. You pretend though you don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat.